Hello there, my name is George Hook and today I'll be answering question 7. I'll be comparing our preliminary task that we done at the beginning of the year to our new product that we've created near the end of this year called Vanish, our thriller that we created within our group. Okay, now I'm going to show you our preliminary task and I'll stop and pause it and explain to you throughout what could have been done better and comparisons. For example, just there, the camera work itself was a bit unsteady. We could have used a better tripod, for instance, or we could have chose better ground to do it. As you saw there, the editing between the character coming towards into the door and then the person sitting down at the desk looking, the editing there was a bit too sharp. It didn't flow together. That's something we could also improve upon within our next piece. As you can see there, we have used an interesting piece of camera work. We have used overhead shot. This is to show the two characters sitting down at a meeting. This was very creative ourselves. This was the first time we've used this. Okay, as I said previously, the camera work wasn't excellent, the editing wasn't excellent. For instance, like it was, as I said before, it wasn't flowing together, it wasn't smooth. The rule of thirds during that, where you see sitting down and the camera goes onto the character side who was sitting down at the desk to begin with, that broke the rule of 180 degrees. That can get the audience disorientated in whereabouts they are in the room. So that's something we could improve upon too. We should abide by the rules that we're given rather than try and break it, but luckily it sort of worked within this piece. It didn't get anyone too disorientated. Also the shots, they were very central, as in very central. For instance, this shot here, it's very central. There's no like spacing on the sides or anything. Everything's to the left, to the right, to the centre. Like the characters to the left, to the right, and the tables in the middle. But this shot, also another shot like that, this is very central. This shot here is an excellent use of rule of thirds. As you can see, you've got characters to the right and to the left, but the character who's speaking you've got mainly centred in the right hand side. So there, and this is an over the shoulder shot. This is a very good piece of camera work that's been used in this piece. Also, there are very good creative shots. For example, this shot here. This shot is an excellent shot, as you've got the character on the left and the person coming towards the chair about to sit down. Also, as I said before, you get the over the shoulder shot. That was a very good shot. And yeah, it wasn't the best piece, but it was you could improve upon it. So now I'm going to show you Vanish that we've created, and as I've done before, I'll do a running commentary of what's going on. As you just saw there, previously to our preliminary task, we incorporated a distribution company and a production company. This is something that will be beneficial for our piece, so it can target different audiences by the production company. As you can hear, we incorporated music music to keep the audience interested and give an effect, make them feel, try and reflect the feeling of what's going on within the film. Also, we used the rule of thirds, like this shot here. It's placed to the right, we've got an open space here to the left. The editing throughout this film is very, it flows. It's not sharp, it's not stop and starting. It all goes on, it feeds off each other. It just feels smooth when you're watching it. Also, the camera work is very still, steady. Maybe this is because we've used a tripod more. We've chose the right ground it should be on. There are a wide range of different shots. None of the rules are broken. For example, the 180-degree rule that I said about our preliminary task, that hasn't been broken in here, so we've taken on board what was said. As you can see, there's space around the character. So that was our final piece that we created for our end of exam. That piece there, as I've said throughout, was very flowy. It flowed. There was no like sudden starts and stops. It all linked onto each other. Also, the music that was within there, that benefited the audience watching, so they could it builds up tension, and it reflects what the audience should be feeling. The framing was excellent. Used the rule of thirds quite well, or really well, in fact. The creativity, there were some good shots within there. For example, you got the point of view shots where he's taking the pills. That was very creative. Haven't seen that before in other films I've seen by other students. But overall, that was a really good piece. Also, when we were working as a team, coming up with ideas, we came together, myself, Sterling and Sophie. We told each other our ideas, and then we sort of merged all our ideas together to get the best idea possible, to try and meet all of our needs that we wanted to incorporate within the film. There wasn't as such a leader. We all had sort of our own, we brought our own different talents towards the team. For example, Sterling was the person who would edit the film, as he had the best expertise in that area. Sophie would be more like the writer who would type stuff up for us, and I'd be more like the organiser to get stuff done, tell people what to do, and basically give them feedback, and like would hint to each other like what needs improvement, and that would mainly come from myself, George. But there was no clear leader. We all took an equal part within the production and creation of this film. We also think, as a group, that we have produced a film to our best possible standards. So we've put all into it, and we hope we've done well. So thank you for listening. And it was a vast improvement to our preliminary task. So yeah.